How you doing? Frank and Whitney here, husband and wife reptile team. So just doing some chores today around the reptile rooms. Effie just popped in to say hi. She's gonna hang out, and Whitney is going to do the usual. She's gonna film, record, and offer us her humor as we go through these questions. So what's going on, Crescent? What's going on, Zeno? Glad you guys are able to make it. I got a list today, so I'm going to be going through this list right here of I got to gather all the snake waters. I have to repair some leopard geckos, check for new ovulations for geckos that haven't been paired yet. I have to make some roach food, and what else is on there? Oh, and make sure the baby dumeril's boas are okay. So that's what we're going to be shooting for on this live stream, and Whitney's going to be here to help me out with questions while I go through everything. And so,
hey Serena.
There you
Sorry we had to
Effie pooped in the corner, by the way. I found her.
What?
It was a long time ago. The poop was really old.
And now you're telling me?
I just found it today.
Okay.
When I was cleaning up the room. Don't you like how everything looks now? It's really clean.
It's very clean.
Can you?
Yes. Oh yeah. They don't want to see my face.
Oh, is it on? Was it on you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. No, they could see your face. I just thought the camera was facing against the rack, so you can, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Hey Serena. Sorry you couldn't stay long, but what's up?
Yeah, but what's going on for the time you are able to stay? So this is how we do mass cleaning of waters for our snakes. So they all get water on the same day, and then we clean the water bowls on the same day, just to make it easier.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Crescent, that you can't go with us to the Reptile Expo.
Oh no, what happened? Oh.
I don't know.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, but she got a new banana pied male.
Oh, she did.
And she saw that on her, she posted that on her Instagram.
That is really cool. Banana pied. I'll have to check that out.
Zeno Ops says, how many new babies do you currently have?
About 40 leopard gecko babies. And I was just talking with my good friend and business partner today about how many babies to expect. But we have 40 females eggs in the incubator. Out of those 40 females, about a third of them are towards the end of their season, a third of them are in the middle of their season, and a third of them are at the end of their season. Or sorry, at the beginning of their season. And then we still have like 10 to 15 girls that have not paired yet for this year. So in total, we're gonna have about, let's just say 50 females that go into breeding, and let's just say an average of like 5 eggs per female. So 50 times 5, so that could be anywhere between 200 to 250 babies, but I'm trying to scale that back and be way more conservative. And I was telling my business partner today, let's shoot for 110 babies for this season, because I'd rather expect less and get more than expect more and get less. You know what I mean? What do you think, hon? Would you rather expect more and get less, or expect less and get more?
I mean, I would definitely rather expect less and get more. I mean, I know you're a dreamer, and I appreciate that about you, but he's always coming up with this, like, really, really large number of babies that he's projecting to have this year. And though I don't doubt he'll have a good amount of babies, I don't think it'll be as much as he says.
What's my large number? What was I saying? I just said 110 right now.
Well, I mean, before now, I think you've
Yeah.
had an epiphany, but...
Ooh. Yeah, I did project some larger numbers. That was also before, guys, you got to keep in mind too, this year we experimented with a couple of things. So in the things that we're experimenting with is crossbreeding. So taking the Macularis common species and crossbreeding it to Afghanicus, fasciolatus, and Turkmenicus. And although fertilizations happen, there are some theories out there that the fertilization rate goes down a little bit as you intermingle these species. So some of our eggs this year that haven't been, maybe some of the eggs this year that haven't hatched or are going bad or whatever the case is, some of those are cross-species breeding. Some of them are young females. We have like 7 to 8 females that were between 35 to 40 grams, which is on the smaller side, and in their first year. And then we had a bunch of other females that were in their first year, but they were bigger, 50, 60 gram females. So there's a bunch of different reasons why we might not hit like the top numbers of eggs per gecko, but that's why I went with a super conservative number of 5 eggs per gecko, which, and we also have black knights. And like our first black knight girl, she's young and she's a first year breeder, and her first 4 eggs were infertile. And we still have to see like how many eggs she lays after. But when a female is healthy past her first year and just like normal breeding, you're not doing any experimental type breeding or stuff like that, you could pretty much expect around 6 to 8 babies per female. But that's why I lowered it a little bit to 5, So what now?
Hey, thanks Nicholas for the $2.
What? Who is that man? I don't know if I've seen him before. Thank you very much.
Nicholas Aaron.
Nicholas Aaron, is that your first time donating? I really appreciate that.
He says, do you change leopard gecko female temps to encourage ovulation?
I do not change leopard gecko female temps to encourage ovulation. I keep the leopard geckos at the same consistent temperature year round. That's about a 90-degree hot spot on one end and about 80 to 85 on the other end. But as of recently, we are experimenting with something that is much, much more efficient for our setup. It's called ambient room temperature. So, Hun, can you show them that Vornado right there real quick? So Whitney's showing you a quick picture of a Vornado. You can use something like this to heat your room to about 88 degrees. It didn't turn on right now because it's fairly warm in here. Actually, it should have turned on. But anyway, it'll probably turn on tonight unless I didn't want to change the setting. But to show you guys, that's interesting. It's not turning on, is it? Oh, there we go. It clicked, but for some reason it doesn't want to turn on. Anyway, I'll have to look at that later. This is a heater, a room heater. If you heat your room, that's really weird that it's not working. So weird. Anyway, guys, most of the time these things work. So if you heat the room, to about 88 degrees overnight, that means that your geckos are always getting a temperature of about 88 degrees throughout the night for like 10 hours. And that's high enough temperature for them to digest. Also, during the day, we open these blinds right here like this. I open these blinds, and because this room is westward facing, after 12 o'clock in the afternoon, this room starts getting really hot. If I shut the air vent and open the blinds, and then I turn on the fan at the top of the room, and that blows all the air even in this room, so that if I have a heater in the room or if I have light coming in and it's heating up the room, all of the room is the same temperature from top to bottom. So as you can see, I got a temperature gauge up here. It's reading 82 degrees at the top of the rack. And this temperature gauge all the way at the bottom is also reading 82. That's because of this fan. I had an epiphany one day. I was heating these rooms with ambient temperature, and the top animals were warmer than the bottom animals. And I thought to myself, I got a fan in the room. What if I turn the fan on? Won't that act just like an incubator? Because when you incubate leopard gecko eggs or any eggs, you have a fan at the top of the incubator. So it takes all that rising warm air at the top of the incubator and blows it downward throughout the rest of the incubator. And that's how you keep as even of a temperature as possible. So I was like, won't it work the same in the room? And then epiphany happened. I put epiphany into play, and yes, it does work the same. If you have a fan in the room, specifically, I know if you have a fan on the ceiling, that fan is going to blow the warmth around that room so that it's all the same temperature.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
Jay Netherton, what's going on, my man?
He just picked up a firefly ball python.
Ooh, really cool. We might be producing some of those this year for the first time, too. Well, any baby is going to be the first time for us, ball python-wise, this year.
And Xeno Ops is supposed to get some Black Knight soon.
Oh, nice. That's definitely a very popular, it's a growing in popularity morph in the United States now. It was popular in Europe and Asia because they had first access to it. But now that we're getting access to it now, like over the last 5 years, it's been growing in popularity. More American breeders are working with it. Like we work with it. Geckopia works with it. JMG Reptiles. Who else? Geckos, etc. So the Gecko Boa. So there's a bunch of breeders that work with Black Knights now, and only good things are going to come from that, you know.
So Xeno's Reptiles, we're talking about the Phoenix Reptile Expo. And that is this coming Saturday, right?
Yeah, we're going this Saturday.
Yeah, it's April 17th. Where is it?
17th and 18th at the Mesa Convention Center in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Facebook page. If you look them up, it's called Phoenix Reptile Expo. Even though it's not in Phoenix and it's in Mesa, it's still called the Phoenix Reptile Expo. Because Phoenix is like our main city out here, so I guess that's their way to publicize it, you know, like to gain publicity. But we will be there Saturday. We're planning on it, the 17th, probably around 11 o'clock in the morning. And we'd love to see or meet up with anybody who's there. We were supposed to see one of our fans and followers, Crescent, who's doing some artwork for us now, but I think she said she's not going to be able to make it, right?
Yeah, they said they they bought a $900 banana pied male.
Yeah.
So they blew their budget. So they're not going.
That's totally understandable, but banana is a great morph. You can't go wrong with that. People are always loving banana, so that's a good investment. And then piebald, you can't go wrong with as well, because people are always loving on the piebald gene, so.
I mean, yeah, for sure, Crescent.
Look at this girl. She wants to bite me. That's what it looks like when you open up your snake cage and your snake wants food. It's like ready to go at you. Sometimes she'll pop her little head out and kind of freaks me out. But she's pretty chunky and packing on weight, and she's been breeding. So I'm really hopeful that we might get some babies from her soon.
Yeah, there she is.
I wonder if
Just
I can.
a long banana.
Yeah, she's actually not a banana. She's a
She looks.
Yeah, she does look like a banana. She's hypo, and she's butter. And if she has eggs in her, I don't really. She's chunky. I feel like she does have some eggs growing in her, so we'll see what happens. She is a May layer, I believe. So the cool thing about ball pythons, you kind of know when they're going to lay, and then you could breed them like 3 months before and then expect them to lay around the same time. So this is our first year breeding. So all the tips and tricks and all the things that work and all the things that don't work, I'll definitely let you guys know. But ball pythons are typically not necessarily seasonal breeders like leopard geckos are. You know, they breed. Leopard geckos will breed and produce eggs for the course of like 4 months. Whereas with ball pythons, they'll breed over the course of a few months and then just lay on one official date, which is, I kind of like that better than the leopard geckos, because leopard geckos, you have to go and check for eggs every single day and every 2 weeks from the same girl. Whereas with a ball python, they just lay their whole season of eggs for you all at once.
Yeah, so, yeah, Crescent, yeah, we wash the water bowls all at the same time. It just makes sense, you know? Money is time, so.
Yeah, so here's what we do for the water bowls. As you see, I'm taking out all the water bowls right now. These are dollar store water bowls, and they work great because they're non-tippable. So anytime you use a bowl of water in a snake tub, like 9 out of 10 times the snake is going to tip them. But these are non-tippable from the dollar store. Really good. And what we do is we remove the water bowls and put them into a giant tub like this, where we will mix some bleach, about a 10% concentration of bleach, and some Dawn dish soap. So that gets it nice and soapy and scrubby, and then the bleach kills all germs and bacteria. And then we rinse them off one more time, let them dry, and then just refill them back up when it's time. One day when I'm spot cleaning, I'll take a clean water dish, dip it into a bucket of water, and put it in the snake's bin as I'm spot cleaning on the table, and then put it back, and it's good to go.
So Jackie, yes, we do ship. But what's our current selling status right now?
So Jackie, thank you for tuning in. I don't know if I've seen your name here before. At GeekyGeckoCreations here, this is our 3rd year in breeding, and we are growing organically. So what that means is our 1st year, we produced all females, so that our 2nd year, we would have more breeders in our collection. And our 3rd year, we're producing all females again this year, so that we could hold back a bunch of females, so that next year we could have like 1,000 babies or more. So this year we're scheduled for about 100 to 200 babies. Next year we would like to be scheduled for about 1,000. But to do that, I need to hold back. The majority of the babies that we produce this year. Otherwise, we would just be selling babies left and right. But as I'm holding back the babies, I'm also checking to see which babies exude the characteristics that I want to keep. And for that to happen, we need to wait 3 to 6 months for each baby to fully start developing its colors and its pattern, so I could keep back the ones that continue to enhance our projects here and sell the ones that I can afford to sell. So at this moment right now, I'm not posting any leopard geckos for sale. Most of our sales are dubia roaches. We also bulk sell heat tape as well. So if you need heat tape for your ball python or leopard gecko rack, we sell that at a good price. We match the prices of the Bean Farm, which is like one of the only other places in America to sell Flex Watt heat tape, which is the world's #1 safest heat tape to use, made in America. Good stuff. So yeah, I think that's it. We don't have any babies for sale right now. We will have dumerils boas babies for sale, probably 2 of those.
Zenos says, first Crescent, awesome. They just started their Black Knights.
Oh, what?
Awesome.
Crescent did?
Yeah.
That is good stuff.
Zeno says, I want to breed the darkest and lightest leopards to see the outcome.
That is cool. The darkest and lightest. Yeah, you're probably going to get something in between since they're line bred. But I love just having an idea and rolling with it, right?
Yeah.
Just being creative.
Yeah.
I need to get this one a water bowl real quick. Somehow I forgot to give this one snake water last week, so I'm going to give her water right now.
Crescent says, did you see someone who posted a Dark Knight Blizzard cross on Instagram? It had like a black top and a white underside.
No, but if you have the picture of that, let me see. I noticed that people have just begun making what they're calling the Panda Project, which is Super Snow Eclipse Black Knights. And so because Super Snow leopard geckos only have pattern like on the tops and the high laterals of their sides, the gecko has like a pure white undertone and it has a black top. And then as you add the Eclipse gene in there, it's going to start removing some of that black pattern to make it look kind of like a panda bear. So I know that that's a popular project right now. I haven't seen the Blizzard one though. Sounds really interesting though.
Now I'm hungry for panda.
Panda pie.
That's awesome, Jay, that you're having about 100 to 200 babies this year.
What?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's just as many as we are, basically.
Yeah. Zeno says they really need heat tape right now. Do you have any more heat tape to sell, hun?
Oh, we have a ton of heat tape. If you need heat tape, let me know. Send me a private message or an email. Like I said, we match the bean farm's prices. So for 3-inch heat tape, it's $2.10 per foot. For 4-inch heat tape, it's $2.40 per foot. We could ship anywhere in the United States within like 3 business days for like $8. So it's pretty reasonable using United States Postal Service. What was I gonna say? If you're looking for baby leopard geckos or baby ball pythons, you could use 3-inch. If you're looking for baby or adult leopard geckos or ball pythons, you could use 4-inch. So just an idea of what you might need it for, but.
Awesome. Crescent says they're excited for the next few years to start their banana pied / normal pied ball python babies. And for now, they're working on their giant leopard geckos.
Do you have female pied ball pythons?
Yeah, so that's the question for you, Crescent, if you have female pied ball pythons. Liliana says, when did you guys first start breeding?
3 years ago. So I've been keeping reptiles on and off since I was like 8 years old. There was a time in the middle of my life where I didn't keep any reptiles since I was, I want to say like 15 until I was like 27. So that's a good like 12 years I didn't keep any reptiles. And then when I was 27, I started getting back into reptiles. And then I went to finish my bachelor's degree in college. And then I got out of reptiles because I was always at school and traveling back and forth between my parents' house and school.
And his dad told him that if he wanted a girlfriend, he needed to get rid of the reptiles.
Yeah, my dad kind of encouraged me, hey, if you want to get a girlfriend, you might want to get rid of the reptiles and focus on getting married and getting out of my house. So, so he didn't say that, but I mean.
But we all knew that's what he meant.
So, as funny as it is, I met Whitney. We started dating for about a year. And at this point, I'm probably like almost 30 years old. And then she shows me just the most random thing. She knew I liked reptiles. And she shows me a little picture of a baby albino leopard gecko that her roommate had at summer camp or something, right? At summer school for it was during the summer, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It was she was going to summer school at college. And she showed me a picture that her roommate or your roommate's friend. Yeah, a friend had in the college dorm room, and it was like I hit the ground running, and it reunited all of my love and passion that I had for reptiles.
It was my fault.
And I jumped in gung-ho. That was about 4 years ago. I started collecting reptiles. 3 years ago was my first year breeding. 2 years ago was my second year breeding, and now this year is my third year breeding. So,
hey, what's up? Xandru from the Philippines.
What up, Magandang Umaga? I think it's morning over there, or really, really late night. But we have quite a few Filipino fans and followers. I think it's popping in the Philippines. I think they love their reptiles, and that's really, really cool. So my mom is Filipino, in case any of you guys didn't know. But I do not really know Filipino too well because she didn't want my dad to feel left out when my sister and I were growing up, so she didn't really teach us Filipino. But later on in life, I wound up kind of studying it a little bit on my own.
Hey, thanks for the $1, Jay.
Thank you so much. I love that, Jay. I love that. That's really, really cool. Thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it. It's really helpful to supporting our cause over here so we can continue to grow this operation from the ground up as organically as possible and continue to provide you guys lots of content and eventually, you know, really great animals for really good prices as well. So
awesome. Crescent says they have a female jack-o'-lantern pied. They bought her and her pied brother. They both have a lot of white, and they just picked up the banana yesterday.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Banana, and pied are two really, really good genetics to have.
Yeah, good morning, Xandru from the Philippines.
Check out the ball python. They love hiding underneath their little water bowls when you put the water bowl in there. Look how big this guy is, too. He's hiding under that thing.
He's like, who disturbs my slumber?
Yeah. He has a nice little chocolate. Does that make you hungry, huh? Chocolate ball python.
No, but I am hungry for the animal cookies you bought.
Yeah, see? I was thinking of you.
Sorry, guys. I'm not a good photographer at all. That's my sister.
You can't be doing that bad.
My sister's the photographer of the family.
But yeah.
And the artist. Liliana asks, how many pets do you have? I assume she means animals.
Yeah, so we have about 50 ball pythons, so that's 50. 2 dumerils boas. Well, 6 dumerils boas now, so that's 56. We have about 150 leopard geckos, so that's about 206. Let's just say we have 15 crested and gargoyle geckos, so that's 221. We have some ribbon. We have 6 ribbon snakes, so that's 227. We have 3 Savannah monitors, so that's 230. We have 1 bearded dragon, so that's 231. We have 5 tegus, so that's 236. We have 40,000 mealworms in the refrigerator.
A sailfin.
Oh, sailfin.
Yeah.
So we have 237. Sailfin, is that the last of what we got? And then a whole bunch of cockroaches.
And a cat.
And a cat. 238 animals. 238 animals. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
In this little house.
Well, our house is actually not that bad. I think it's actually the perfect size to grow.
Mm-hmm.
They love hiding under. I'm running out of space. In this
Jay
thing.
says, let's just merge together. LOL, JK.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, great things happen when you work in partnership, right?
For sure. Kamikaze says, hey, Frank, how's your day been? Just tuned in. What days do you live stream?
So we actually don't have a specific day that we live stream. I'm such a spontaneous person when it comes to planning things. Whitney knows, right? I'm a horrible planner sometimes. I know what I need to get done and I get it done, but I sort of just kind of, what is it, free ball it or
wing it?
Wing it. I sort of just wing it and go. And once I'm done with one task, then I look to hit the next task that I want to do, and I hit that. But I do need to put a little list together, which is, what this is. This is to keep me focused tonight. We have 5 things that we need to accomplish while we're on this live stream. We need to repair leopard geckos, check for new ovulations, make cockroach food. We need to remove the water of the snakes, which is what we're doing right now, and we need to check on the baby's dumerils boas. So those 5 things are my goal to finish by the end of this live stream.
Crescent has a question.
What's going on?
She says, their ball pythons won't eat live, and they won't eat if offered on tongs.
Ooh.
They have to leave a frozen pinky in their tub, which they'll eat eventually. Does this happen with anyone else?
So, Crescent, are you trying a pinky rat? Because usually, as soon as a ball python comes out of the egg, it's usually ready for a fuzzy rat, like a live fuzzy rat. And then once it's a month old or so, it's ready for a rat pup. And then once it's older than 2 months, it's ready for somewhere between a rat pup and a rat weanling. So pinky rats, their bones and stuff are not really developed that much. And so I'm new to ball pythons, but maybe try a different style rat, Like maybe they just don't like the pinky rat. You could also try a mouse. I would try to stay away from ASF mice because African soft fur mice, once you get them hooked on that, from what I hear, they only want to eat that. But if you feed regular hopper mice to like baby ball pythons, is what I've heard of people doing, they will transition to rats as they grow. But that's only for the first 3 meals. Like most ball python people that I talk to, they only feed hopper mice for the first 3 meals of the baby ball python's life, and then they move on to rat pups. But if you could get the baby on rat fuzzies or rat pups immediately, that would be best. One thing that Justin Kabelka recommends is changing the substrate. Anytime you change something for the animals, it creates a new psychological thread in their head to where it might encourage them to eat. So Justin Kabelka, who's like the biggest ball python breeder in the world, he starts off all his baby ball pythons on paper towels, and then he tries to feed them on paper towels. And if they don't eat on paper towels, he transitions them over to cocoa bedding. And then he says all of them will eat once they're on cocoa bedding. But if you start with cocoa bedding and they don't eat, then he's like, you got nothing else to try, nowhere else to go except backwards to paper towels. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else in the chat has experience they can say, but ball pythons they are known to be picky eaters at times. But I would try either a live rat fuzzy, or it could be the size of the container. If you have them in a very large tank or tub, the snake might feel insecure and it might not want to eat. But when you put them in a small enclosure like this, they feel really, really great and they eat. So just an example, this trend can even carry once they're older. This snake right here, you can see how big that snake is. It was big for this style tub right here. But I just recently moved it over to the big tub and it won't eat in the big tub. It was eating perfectly fine in the small tub. They like when they're in a confined space, when they could feel all sides closing in on them, they like that. And when you think the tub is too small for them, they actually prefer that. And that could help as well. It's psychological with ball pythons. You want to comfort them into eating.
So she says they feed them pinky mice, and they fed them small ones due to the breeder's advice.
Okay.
Their banana is 5 months, and their other 2 are 4 months. They've been on paper towels, and they haven't done well with bedding.
Okay. So I'm curious what breeder you got them from, because I've never, ever heard of a breeder recommending pinky mice. Possibly pinky rats, but pinky mice, by no means. And especially if the snake is 5 months old. If a snake is 5 months old, how big is it? Maybe it might be like 2-3 feet already, or 2 feet or so. That snake should be eating pups, or pups at minimum, or even weaned to small rats, depending on the size of the snake. So I'm not sure if you got some bad advice from these guys or who these guys are, but I can say that just doesn't sound right to me. Out of all the ball python people and research that I've conducted, I've never ever heard of somebody recommending to feed a pinky mouse to any size ball python. Maybe a pinky rat to a baby ball python, but most breeders will even try either a fuzzy rat or a hopper mouse. Does that make sense? So again, what size tub do you have them in? I'm telling you, there is something to the smallness of the size of the tub that they just like. It's worth trying. But ball pythons are notorious for being picky eaters. And sometimes you do have to, it's so crazy that there's people out there that literally take their snakes on a car ride. They will drive their snake around the block, come back just to get that snake to eat. People have tried everything. Putting their snake in a plastic tub and setting it on top of the washer dryer. As the washer dryer, vibrates and bounces up and down, that soothes the snake, and then the snake winds up eating. There's so many things that people try, but the first thing that I would suggest is a small, putting them into a small, tight, dark spot.
She says they're kept in a relatively small container, but big enough so it's not inhumane. they're just pretty odd. They don't use their hides, and they just constantly chill by their water bowls.
Yeah, that is interesting. And every snake's going to have a little bit different of a personality, right? So, and this is sometimes what makes animal keeping difficult is it's very observational. What works for you might not work for me. And what works for me might not work for you. In the hobby, I know that's like the worst answer because people just want to know what the answer is and do it. But in reality, there's many different solutions to one problem. You have to find out which solution is going to work for you. So I'm sure you've done your research, and even as I'm saying some of the stuff I'm saying right now, if you haven't tried that stuff, you could try it. But everything is worth a shot. Change one variable at a time or a couple variables at a time. It depends on each scenario. But whatever you think other people have had success with, try to replicate that on a day-to-day basis, a week-to-week basis, and see if it works for you.
And she said their banana was from Predators, and their other two are from Maestro Exotics on Morph Market. And they recommended smaller because they have been extremely picky, those snakes in particular. So they're both in a 12 quart since they're a bit under a foot. Their birth date was not official. They just know they didn't look big enough to eat a rat pup. And they're kind of small for their age.
Okay. I would actually love to see some more pictures, but keep this in mind for Crescent. Predators is a great reptile store. I love Predators. I got nothing against large chain reptile stores. However, sometimes the people that are working there are not the most in tune with the best care or advice because they're caring for hundreds of species at once. Whereas like a ball python breeder is just dealing with ball pythons. So I could be wrong, but I have never ever heard of a ball python breeder promoting pinky mice or even pinky rats. One of the reasons they don't promote pinky rats is because the pinky babies, pinky rats, have very, very low calcium, very, very low nutritional value. They're almost 100% fat because they have not developed any like strong muscle yet, any thick and dense bones yet. So if ball python breeders do not even recommend pinky rats, they would rather feed a hopper mouse than a pinky rat because a hopper mouse at least has more nutrition in it, or a fuzzy rat because that has a little bit more than a pinky does. But ball python breeders rarely even recommend pinky rats. How much more would they not recommend a pinky mouse? So I could be wrong on this. I'm always subject to being wrong. I'm human, but I'm telling you, not all the time do pet stores give you the best advice. So that's just like kind of a disclaimer warning that sometimes people at the pet stores, they're human too, and they just make mistakes, or you caught the wrong person on the wrong day, or he was thinking of something else when he gave you the advice. He could have been a very knowledgeable person, but he could have mixed up his thoughts and then gave you some advice. Like anything is possible. I would go with niche specific advice, like Justin Kabelka, Always Evolving Pythons.
Well, yeah, she says she had to talk to Chris, who, from what she remembers, was the ball python breeder.
Yeah.
And he was raising the banana at home due to its being iffy. But she'll get some pinky rats or fuzzies.
Yeah, and Chris is the owner of the store, if I'm not incorrect. And Chris is a knowledgeable person. I've had other people tell me advice that Chris gave to them, and it sounded like good advice. So I don't know Chris personally, but I've just never heard of a ball python breeder offering pinkies to their snakes. Pinky mice, definitely not. Pinky rats, maybe. But again, fuzzy rats are going to be better, or hopper mice. What scares me about, I don't know too much about the size of the hopper mice, but what scares me a little bit more about hopper mice is that they put up a better fight than a fuzzy rat would. A fuzzy rat, that thing's going to go down. Like it doesn't even have its eyes opened yet. But a hopper mouse, that thing's jumping around, hopping around. It's got its teeth developed. So you might want to keep an eye on that little baby, because if that snake gets its teeth into that baby, bad things can happen, you know?
Yeah, I mean, every animal is different. So you know your animal better than we do. And you know how they react and what they respond to. So, yeah, we wish you the best. Kamikaze says they're looking forward to when we do a live stream on showing off our entire leopard gecko collection.
Oh, nice. Are they doing live streams? Or?
Well, they found the video from a year or so ago, and they say they like chilling out and watching our content. So, thanks, Kamikaze. Thanks for that.
Oh, they want to see they're looking forward to seeing our.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have to do another like reptile room tour where we show like everything that we have, but I have to do one of those. Yeah. So here's some of the dumerils, boas, babies. I'm gonna check on them right now. Change their substrate. This is number 2 on the list. This is the second thing. They are pretty nippy. This one is really nice. It's umbilical hole. They have a hole right here when they're born, and they absorb their yolk into that. This one's umbilical hole is completely soaked up and is looking really, really good.
Is that the one that was completely open?
No, I'm gonna get to it.
Oh.
This is one that will probably be up for sale because it is healthy and looking great. And you could see like their pinkish undertones on there. It's really, really nice. Dumerils, boas are really cool. And look how big they are when they first come out.
Not even that feisty.
No, he calmed down since the egg. Keep an eye on them if you can, hon, because I'm going to change out their paper substrate here in a minute. This one also, umbilical is fully closed up. I'm still going to keep them on paper towels just for another week or so. But after that, I'm going to change them over to cocoa and also give them their first meal. Which the first meal for these guys is definitely going to be at least a rat fuzzy or a rat pup. That's going to be the first thing that we try. Oh, I like the way they feel. They still have like their mother's dry slime on them, and it feels kind of interesting. Let's see. Ow. All right, so this one, you can see the umbilical cord here is currently drying up and shriveling off. So this one's going to take like another week on paper towels before that dries up and shrivels off, but that should definitely. The colors on this one, the camera's probably not doing that great of a job, but really nice oranges and pinks. This is another healthy one, with the exception of a small kinking in the tail over here. So we might wind up keeping this one for a little bit just to see how it develops. And then if it's healthy enough to sell to somebody and has no problems, then we'll go ahead and, you know, sell it or adopt it out to somebody for a fee. But, or we'll just keep it. Now, the really cool thing about boas is you can tell if they're male or female right from the get-go, just looking at them. You don't have to probe them or nothing, because they will have little spurs right here at their cloaca where like the little pooper is. So I've never done this before, but I know that males have spurs, females don't. I've never done it on babies, I should say. I didn't see any. So I need to know what a spur looks like before I can accurately, you know, genderize one. But I didn't see any spurs on that one. It could just be because they're really small. It's really hard for my eyes to see. This one looks like it might have a spur. I'm going to have to go into the light. My eyes do not do good up close, guys. I'm not seeing any spur. That could be good. I mean, females are good. Females produce babies. Gosh, I need to learn what the spur actually looks like, but I'm not seeing any spurs on these guys. So, I mean, it's possible that I got 3 females there, but it's also possible that I... Here's the one that had the issue. Let's see how this little baby is healing up. So you can see that the scar tissue around this little baby is definitely healing. As that scar tissue heals, this baby's ribs are going to be pulled tighter and tighter tighter and tighter together, I would hope, until that is kind of seamless and, it's just normal looking.
It does look like he's getting better.
It does look like he's getting better, but another thing that concerns me, and let me check the gender real quick while I'm here. Gosh, it's just so hard to see, or my eyes are just that bad. But the other thing that concerns me is this concave hollow effect right here. You see that? That kind of looks underdeveloped, or like it's missing some muscle or something. So we're going to see how this little baby does. This one we are definitely going to be keeping around until it either makes a full recovery or unfortunately does not. But 2 of the babies are perfectly fine. One of the baby has a little bit of a kinking in the tail, but is fine other than that. And this baby has, the stomach issue there that we are looking after. So I'm going to change all their paper towels over right now. I need to grab... Actually, we could just use this.
They're just so cute. They're so little. That one is really concerning me. It would be really sad if he didn't make it. But it's our first hatch from the dumeril's boas.
All right, I'm going to put them right here so you can look at them if you want. I love putting them into like a big bin of water. There's just something so satisfying about like letting a reptile soak in some water. So I'm going to hit the water. There we go.
So Ed Boy 96 has a question.
What's up, Ed?
They're still learning genetics in Morse.
Okay.
And the Leopard Gecko wiki site you recommended really helped. But they're still, like, confused.
Okay.
They breed a hypomelanistic male to a albino female. What can they expect?
So hypomelanistic. Okay, so it's basically a hypo. A hypo means that it has reduced banding pattern and reduced spotting as well. That's what hypo means in leopard geckos. It's not what it means in ball pythons, but it's what it means in leopard geckos. It's an animal that has been selectively bred so that it reduces the pattern on the animal, spots and stripes, okay? So what was it combined with, hun? What was the other snake it was combined, or the other?
The albino female.
So a albino is a hypoalbino, which means that it has reduced pattern and it has reduced color, in this reduced black color, in the sense that it's an albino. So if you take a hypo to a hypo, you're going to get hypo babies. You're going to get babies that have reduced pattern. And that is going to vary. Some babies are going to have more pattern. Some babies are going to have less pattern. Some babies are going to have the same amount of pattern as their parents. Now, because albino is a recessive gene, it means you need 2 copies of the recessive gene to be an albino. You need 1 to pass down from your dad, 1 to pass down from your mom. That is without exception. That is what needs to happen. If only one parent passes on the albino gene and the other parent does not pass on the albino gene, all of those babies will be carrying 1 copy of the albino gene, and that's it. So they will all be het albinos.
Okay. So
let me rinse these off, gather the questions, hon. Make sure that snake doesn't get out, and I'll be right back. You get tasked with the stuff you don't want to do.
No, it's my life. He's getting out. I don't want to touch him. I know they can't hurt me, but hun, it's not bad.
Just touch it.
No.
Just get it. Practice. Oh, because they strike, huh?
Yeah.
This is the one with attitude, too. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Thanks for those of you who have knowledge for answering some people's questions. It really gives us more efficient time to address everybody. So, when he'll be back in a few seconds, he'll answer your guys' questions. Hey, what's up, Junior Leos? Yeah, we'll be at the expo at around 11-ish, so, yeah, hope we get to see you there. Thanks, Ed boy. Yeah. He explains very well. He's definitely very OCD. Actually, he was reteaching me how to use the weed whacker today, and because it's getting out. I had used it before, but it's spring and, you know, we just didn't, you know, water our grass in the winter. So this was the first time I was using the weed whacker, and he was very thorough with reteaching me how to use it.
Because you didn't want to learn.
No, it was hot and I was tired.
Tell him what you were doing. Tell him how you were yelling at me.
I was, like I told you guys, I was telling him that he was OCD. Like, he is OCD, which can be a good thing, but can also be a bad thing. But
you're not used to weed whacking, right? Like, you didn't know how to do it. So I was just trying to teach you how to do it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm a teacher.
And you just couldn't have that, huh?
Yeah.
Now, I know you like to show me that you're big and strong and you know what you're doing. And
so anyway, the reason why I'm talking about this is because Ed Boy said you broke that down to where a kid could understand.
Oh, that's great. Me or you?
Huh?
Me or you?
They said you broke it down to where a kid can understand.
Oh, nice. That's great. That's always my goal, guys. I appreciate feedback like that. That kind of lets me know, you know, like, because I love to be able to help other people understand. I know when I was first learning about reptiles, I just wanted somebody there to ask questions to, and there's so many different videos with like different information out there. And I apologize, Crescent, if I sound like kind of strict and stern when I said I have never heard of anybody give pinky mice to their ball python snakes, because I just wanted to stress the point that I've done thousands and thousands of hours of like research and stuff like that, and I just wanted to stress the point that I've just never seen anybody do that. Not to say that you can't, not to say that it's like bad to do it. I've just seen that a lot of people stay away from pinky rats as a whole just because of the nutritional level. Yeah, I see him.
Okay.
I'm watching that one pooping right there. I'm waiting for that poop to.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, to completely come out.
Yeah, Crescent. If we, for some reason, do give up, that's lovely. If we do give up, the one with issues, yeah, we'd love to rehome them to you.
Yeah, if we, I've been thinking about it. If we rehome any of our animals that are like have some issues or something, I was thinking maybe we'll do something similar to like what the adoption centers do, where like you just pay like a $50 adoption fee or something like that. You know, just to make sure that the person is like serious and interested in the animal. So I still have to give a little bit of thought to that, because you know, when you're breeding animals, you get animals that have defects or you know, just aren't completely normal, and you want that animal to go to a good home. And most of the time, I like to keep an eye on that animal myself, kind of observe it, kind of learn from its behavior, learn what works, learn what doesn't work. But in some cases, I just got so much going on over here. I was actually thinking about, you know, possible like adoption scenarios for some of our animals that come out with little things like that. So I appreciate you bringing that up. I'll definitely let you know about it, and kind of see where things go with these little buggers right here. But yeah, Dumeril's boas, they're a great boa to get into. Great beginner boa. I'm trying to think if I want to give them water, but I have no.
Hey, Paul, watching from Pinus. I think that's how you say it.
Pinus. Where's
hey, what's up? I don't know. Pinas.
Maybe Pinas. Maybe that's in like Mexico somewhere.
Pinas. Yeah.
I don't know.
Pinus. I'm so American. Even though I speak a little bit of Spanish. Let's see. Yeah, Paul. Yeah. Thanks for watching our videos, even from the Philippines.
Nice, I love that.
You're in a very different time zone.
We have a bunch of like Filipino followers, and I'm just curious why that is. For some reason, YouTube's algorithm really picks you guys up and like promotes our channel to you guys. So I really appreciate that. That's cool though. Plus, it just shows the level of engagement that you guys have, right? I also have some UK people that reach out to me, you know, from the United Kingdom. Not too many like Chinese or like Japanese or Korean, but a decent amount of Filipinos, a decent amount of UK. So both of you guys really love the hobby of reptiles, both the people from the UK and the people from the Philippines. So that's really great stuff.
Hey, $10 from Esteban.
What? Let me see his name.
Esteban Rivas.
Oh, yeah.
He says, we're his favorite YouTube couple. Thanks for answering questions.
That's so cool. Thank you so much, Esteban. Again, to all you guys who are super chatting and feeling that or able to give that level of generosity, we really appreciate it, right, hun? My wife really appreciates it. It definitely helps us to bring in some income, cover the expenses that we have here, so that we can continue to put out content like this, focus on this full time, and really make this our full-time gig, so that we could bring you, you know, I'm gonna add to it, quality content, quality reptiles. Quality reptiles for quality price with quality content. That's the goal. The 3 Qs.
Nice. Junior Leos and Jaden, we will get to your questions in just a second. Yeah, I cannot tell you how much we appreciate you guys. I mean, seriously. Like, I know not a lot of people have extra money to give out, especially this past year. A lot of people have been really impacted financially by the pandemic, so we really, really appreciate you guys.
You want to see how I dry my plastic tubs? When you have carpet, you could do this.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
Whitney really doesn't like it. You're cringing right now, aren't you?
I am.
Now, let me explain to you the reason she doesn't like it. Because she feels like the water sits on the carpet and then molds underneath. And although I will give it to her that water plus, wood, because as it goes down, it goes into the wood. Water plus wood equals mold. My argument to her is that it evaporates before it ever creates an issue with the wood. That's just my argument, but she seems to still really get on me about
okay, well, I want
water
to
on the
see
carpet.
some science behind that evaporation, quote unquote.
Want me to tear up the carpet? I'll do it. I'm just kidding.
So Junior Leos has a question.
What's up, Junior Leos? What's going on, man?
He says they've had their hatchlings hatch out since last week, and they had their first shed and still haven't eaten. Any tips?
So as long as the geckos are looking healthy, and what I mean by healthy is their tail is not getting super skinny and they are actually growing a little bit, I would not be too concerned about them not eating in a week. But how are you feeding your geckos? Because baby geckos are very anxious to begin with. If you're trying to tongue feed them, that's probably not what I would recommend doing, especially if you're having problems with them eating. I simply use a little mealworm dish and put it in there. And if that's the way that you're feeding them, how do you know they're not eating? Is it because you're counting out the mealworms and then you notice that they didn't eat any mealworms? I'm just curious where your information is coming from, because sometimes they might be eating and you might not realize it. So step number 1, do they look unhealthy? If not, don't worry about it. Step number 2, how are you feeding them? Are you trying to tongue feed them or give them crickets that are too big or difficult to catch? All of our babies just eat mealworms right out the gate. I put the mealworms in a little bowl. The babies can't miss it. They go right for the mealworms 9 times out of 10. For the exception of runt babies or babies that just have a little bit of a slow start compared to others, I will sprinkle some worms on the tub, on the floor of the tub, and then the babies will eat the worms that way, so they don't have to crawl into the worm dish. And also, what size container are you keeping them in? If you keep a leopard gecko or a ball python in too big of a container, it might not like that. It really likes a smaller container. And I've personally seen a lot of success moving a baby from a big container where it wasn't eating to a small container where it did begin eating. And then step number 3, ambient temperature. How cold is that room? Because even if the hot spot is getting 90 degrees, if that room is cold, it might make the geckos a little bit lethargic naturally. One of the best practices that we are learning about for reptiles right now is something called ambient room temperature. Ball python babies have thrived on ambient room temperature, and our leopard gecko babies, none of them are on heat. All of them are on ambient room temperature, and they are thriving. And again, if you missed our visual of what ambient room temperature is, it's a simple room heater just like that. And you will set that room heater to cut off when your room hits 88 degrees and just leave it on overnight so that the geckos have about 8 to 10 hours overnight where they're in 88 degree temperature. What was I going to say? Also, you will need a fan in the room to circulate the warm air, but those are my recommendations. Try mealworms only in a dish. Try a smaller tub. And also, if you can, try moving that gecko to an area of your house where you can give it 85 to 88 degrees ambient room temperature. So I hope that helps.
Jaden says, you look like Clark Kent.
Superman.
I totally agree. And I think his hair looks exactly like Prince Charming from Disney's Cinderella.
Oh, you flatter me.
I will show you a picture.
I need to see a picture too.
Like his hair, it looks.
I combed it before the live stream today because it was kind of.
I think he looks a lot like Prince Charming.
Well, that is a compliment. I will take that.
You have to see the picture.
Oh my gosh, it does look like that, guys. vote in the comments below if I need to do something wacky and crazy with my hair like I did last time, like a mohawk or maybe a double mohawk. I saw this the other day. You shave down the middle of the head, then you shave down the sides, and it's like a double mohawk, kind of like a crest, like 2 crests on your head, like you're a veiled chameleon or something. It's pretty cool.
Next thing I know, he's gonna go through plastic surgery, and he's gonna get like
a lizard tongue.
He's gonna get chameleon DNA put into his system, and he's gonna.
Hey, they could do that now.
Get surgery to get like a split tongue. And...
What is it called? What is that? Splicing, gene splicing. They're doing some crazy stuff with gene splicing nowadays. I don't really know too much about it, but I've just heard.
All right, back to the question.
Okay, before we go to the questions, guys, one of my favorite things to do when I have a to-do list is crossing stuff off that's done. So guess what we're done with, hun? Babies, dumerils, boas are done. We are done with snake water. We are done. Now what do we have left? Cockroach food and leopard gecko breeding. Which one do you guys want to see first? Do you want to see how we make our cockroach food, or do you want to see our breeding our geckos?
So cockroaches or geckos? I think I know what you want to see.
Well, we're really doing both, so it's which one do you want to see first? If you want to end on a bang, no pun intended, if you want to end on a bang and have leopard geckos breeding
end
last.
With a bang?
Yeah, no, end on a bang because the leopard geckos are breeding.
Gosh.
So, if you want to end on a bang with a bang, with some bangs.
Are you a middle schooler?
Yes, a part of a guy's brain, I think, always stays.
Just like I thought, they want to see geckos next.
Okay, well, the cockroach food is not going to take long, and then we save the best for last, and we get to leopard gecko breeding.
Why'd you even ask?
I'm sorry, I don't know why I asked. I'm sorry, guys, I need to do the cockroach food real quick because it's just going to help my night go a little bit more smoothly. Let me show you how we make our cockroach food here. It's only going to take a few minutes, and then we'll be moving on to leopard gecko breeding.
All right, so Jaden.
Come on, hon, we gotta go.
Okay.
Okay. Come on, fan, work. I don't know why it's not working. Is it the outlet?
It might be.
No, because the light is on. Oh, you know what? That's it. There's a little button on the bottom here. If that button is not pressed in, it won't turn on. Isn't that interesting? So, I need something flat to put that thing on. Okay, so you can pick that up, hon, and then we will...
All right. Slave labor of the day.
Slave labor? Oh, we're going to go... Yeah, you could follow me, but we're going to head to the kitchen to make some cockroach food.
That's not the kitchen.
No.
Oh, man. Yeah. Marriage is great. No, it really is. It really is great. But there are moments.
Watch how this will solve our problem of the heater not working.
Okay.
Want to see how a man solves a problem?
Oh, my gosh. Hun, you're going to have every woman in the world against you.
I like joking. Oh, actually, I didn't do that good. This thing is not flat enough. I should just leave it like that, but
Jaden says no mansplaining.
No, I'm always... Okay, it's just a joke, guys. I'm always joking with Whitney about...
At the worst possible time.
Like the things that men are naturally good at compared to the things that women are naturally good at. I always joke around with Whitney. I'm like, you want to see how a man does it? She hates it because she's so like women power. So she's for you guys.
Yeah. The only reason why he is still sleeping in our bed is because I know he's just... He's He's just very, very innocent, very mischievous. No, he doesn't mean it at all. Oh, that's awesome, Jaden. You can put a car together. I can't do that. Yeah, go ahead, Jaden. Email the pictures of your eggs. He'll be happy to look at them and help you out. We'll get to your questions very soon, I promise.
I won't believe this, I'm having a very hard time finding something that's gonna work. I need something flat, like a flat piece of wood or something.
Well, we have the marble.
Marble? Which marble? Like this?
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad idea. See? Look at that. It's actually a good idea. It's a little bigger than I wanted, but let me... Ooh. This one's gonna work. This is a little bit smaller, like more manageable of a size here, so. All right. I won't make a joke.
I am starting to get hungry.
Uh-oh. It's only a matter of time now, guys. Whitney's gonna bail on us. Once she gets hungry, that's it.
I got
okay, so look.
Very hangry.
Now it works. So there's this little button on the bottom here. And for whatever reason, if that button's not pressed in, this thing won't work. I'm guessing it has something to do with it falling over on its side. If it falls over on its side, then it's not going to work. And, you know, maybe they thought it's a fire hazard that way. So anyway, there we go. So this is our room heater. It blows this warm air into the middle of the room where the fan will circulate it around the whole room. And every corner of this room from top to bottom will all be the same temperature. It's really, really great. If you guys got a room that you could use for just your reptiles, ambient temperature, I would recommend is the way to go, because that's the way that like animals live in the wild, right? Like ambient temperature they use. They just seem to do really, really good in it. And not to say that they can't do good on like sectional temperature, you know, like where a section of their tank is hotter than another section of their tank. That's perfectly fine too. But I've seen some really good results this last 2 months with ambient room temperatures. So, okay, let's go do some cockroach stuff.
Woohoo!
Is that your sarcastic,
Hi,
excited tone? No cameras, please.
Hey, stop.
Are these all clean, huh?
No, they're dirty.
The dishes are dirty?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, we might not be able to make... Let's see. Do you have any questions or anything? Because I got to rinse this.
I do.
I like how Jaden said mansplaining. I'm gonna keep that in. No mansplaining.
So first, Jaden is going to email you a couple pictures of her eggs that were hatched recently.
Okay.
First-time breeders, and she just needs help determining whether her second egg is fertile or not because it's very dirty.
Okay.
Yeah,
no problem. I will definitely do that. I know it's always so, like, you're just full of so much excited angst and stuff when you're dealing with breeding and incubating the first time. Excited angst as well as like worried anxiety. So I definitely got you. I'll take a look at the pictures and see what I see.
Yeah, she says this is her first time laying eggs for them, and she kind of went on a small hunger strike. She's a little thin, but she started eating the same day after she laid.
Oh, good. Yeah, they normally will They can go on some hunger strikes. Some females will, some females won't. Some females are worse than other females. I would say most females don't go on hunger strike, but there's probably a good 20 to 30% where they will vary their degrees of eating. So like 1 week they might not eat anything, another week they might eat completely normal. So you'll find some different variations and different changes in their behavior in about 20 to 30% of the girls.
Also, her Reptibator is having trouble holding a steady humidity. She's spraying down the sides of the container that she has the eggs in, but she was wondering if you have any tips.
Yeah, here's a tip. You should not need to spray down the sides of the Reptibator. The place that the eggs get all of their humidity from is inside of the egg bin. Let me show you what that is. So take a look at our incubator here. This is an incubator. The outside temperature in this room right now is 78 degrees.
So for the newcomers, this is actually a wine cooler that Frankie and Greg transformed into an incubator.
Yep, perfectly explained. So this incubator has a heater in the back. It also has 2 fans, and it's set to 82 degrees where this probe is. So you see that, hon? Mm-hmm. Once this probe hits 82 degrees, the unit cuts off. And it's always good to have backup thermostats in there so you can see what temperatures are where. This is 80 degrees right here. This thermostat, almost 81 degrees right here. Let's go all the way to the bottom. All the way at the bottom, 80 degrees all the way at the bottom. So this does a great job of keeping the airflow consistent because of the fans that are back there. Can you see those fans? Mm-hmm. Those fans keep air flowing. Now, this incubator does not have any humidity attached to it. All the humidity for the eggs is found right here in this vermiculite. This vermiculite is a 1-to-1 ratio of water weight to substrate weight. So let me know if you don't know how to do that. But who was asking the question about the humidity?
Jaden.
Jaden, you don't need to give humidity in the incubator itself. The incubator does...
She said she's spraying down the inside of the egg bin.
I know, but...
just down the sides, never directly.
Okay, so let me... Oh, there's a little baby.
Ooh, we got a baby.
Yeah, so next thing to add on to the list, put away a baby. Okay, let's come up real quick. So, if you haven't seen my incubation video, let me know, Jaden. I can send you a link to the video, or take a look in our history of the link to the video, because I will cover everything in it's like a 30-minute video. Here's the important thing to realize about egg incubation. The incubator itself does not hold any humidity, only the egg container. If that egg container, oh, sorry, I got some air bubbles or something. If that air container has a 1-to-1 ratio already in it, you do not need to spray anymore for the next 60 to 90 days. It does not need any extra water. I know everything, the mama bear inside of you, everything inside of you wants to do something, but I'm telling you, nothing needs to be done. All you need to do is a 1-to-1 ratio and then let it sit. Don't touch it. We use airtight containers. We don't poke any holes in these containers. Some people poke a pin hole or 2 in the container. We don't. We just let all of that humidity from the vermiculite inside keep that air moist inside of the egg container itself. So
she's wondering if vermiculite is the best substrate to use.
In my opinion, from my experience, it has done me fantastically well. It's what I use for every egg that I incubate. So I want to be careful not to say that it's the best, because I'm sure there's people that have had success with perlite and hatchite. I had a failing with perlite. It did, either I made a mistake, or something that you need to be aware of with perlite. Sometimes perlite has chemicals in it, and you need to pre-wash it before using it in your incubation setup. Because of that factor, After my first couple eggs went bad, I used vermiculite, which does not need to be pre-washed, that I bought from Home Depot, and I've had amazing success since then. So that's why I only use vermiculite. It's just my personal experience that I have to tell the tale. So I recommend vermiculite for that reason. Justin Kabelka, he's the #1 reptile ball python breeder in the entire world, basically. He still uses vermiculite for his ball pythons. He's one of the few people in the whole ball python industry that still use vermiculite. A lot of people have transitioned over to like these newer ways to incubate the eggs in those sim containers over water, but he won't do it. He uses just vermiculite. So he's like me. Once you find something that works, you're going to stick with it until it's broken, right? Well, vermiculite has never failed on me. It's never broken on me. So I really like it. 1-to-1 ratio, airtight container, don't spray anymore. You're good for 60 to 90 days.
Real quick, your phone is at 5%.
Oh my goodness. Let me get my charger real quick.
Can I eat? I'm so hungry.
You can eat while I do the cockroach stuff here. And just keep the phone with you on the table so you can like scroll through.
Actually, yeah, I'll nibble on some cookies and then I'll be good. Because I wanted to make some. I love mac and cheese. I wanted to make some Kraft mac and cheese.
What do you call it? Your mac and cheese?
No, it's not the liquid gold. It's
Liquid
the
gold.
usual Kraft mac and cheese. I can't afford that liquid gold anymore. That's like $5 a box.
I hear you. I mean, okay, hon, you can come here. We're gonna tripod it up right here. If you don't mind, you could just like do questions while eating, or do you have to make food?
No, I'll just eat these.
Oh, you're just eating the cookies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the husband's cookies come in handy. I literally bought it's like $3 a pound for that stuff. I bought like half a pound, and then I was like, oh, Whitney's gonna want some, so I got you some more from the store. But if you want, you could you're gonna stand up and eat and watch me, or how do you just keep the camera on your face if you're gonna sit down, just so people can
down. But they're gonna see me eating.
That's okay.
I don't want to see them.
Rather than see you eating than the living room.
Well, the living room is better than them seeing me eating. I'll put it on you.
Let's throw that up to the questions. Okay, 3 options. Do you guys want to see me blending up the cockroach food? Do you want to see Whitney eating? Or do you want to endlessly stare into our living room?
Well, you have no choice because you're going to watch Frank.
Okay. But put in the comments what you would have chosen had Whitney not been a dictator and dictated what is going to happen.
Okay. The weird question.
There's a weird question?
Yeah, you have a weird question.
I have a weird question? Oh. I was going to be like, I love weird questions, bring it on, but you're talking about me. You're saying I'm a weird question. So, you could take a blender just like this and use it to blend up oatmeal for your cockroaches. Cockroaches, I don't want to say they need this, but I think from my research, this benefits them. To have a grain like oatmeal, to have vegetables like celery and carrots. Those are the 3 things that we feed our cockroaches. So I blend up the oatmeal so that when it comes time to sifting out the baby roaches, the oatmeal chunks do not get stuck with the baby roaches, because oatmeal chunks are the same size as baby roaches. And then when you go to sift out the baby roaches, now you got a bin full of baby roaches and oatmeal chunks. Whereas if you use this method and blend up the oatmeal in a fine powder, you could sift it out so that only baby roaches are left and not the oatmeal powder. So
Jacob Perez says he got 4,000 mealworms for $32. Is that a good deal?
Let's see. We pay. I think that's a good deal because we pay about $150. I don't have my phone to do the math, but we pay about $150 for 40,000 mealworms. So 150, and he paid $30 for 4,000. So 30 goes into $30 goes into 150. That's a multiple of 5. So 4,000 mealworms times 5 is 20,000 mealworms. So you paid 20,000 meal. You paid twice as much as we paid for our mealworms. Now, I'm trying to be a sponsor of these guys. I actually emailed them to see if they want to partner with me, but I love this one company called rainbowmealworms.net. I would love to sponsor these guys and put like a small clipping of their company in my video. But until I officially sponsor with them, I'm going to keep recommending them. Here's why they're number one in my eyes. They have the best pricing of mealworms, number one. They typically always have them in stock, number two. Even up to 40 to 100,000 mealworms you could order. And even during the pandemic, they had them in stock. They always honor their customers when something goes wrong. There's a little button you check that says hold at the post office. If you hold the mealworms at the post office and you go to pick those mealworms up, and for whatever reason those mealworms are dead, all you do is send them a picture of the dead mealworms. Instantly, they get it, and within like 24 hours, they refund your money back to you or send you a new order of mealworms. Their customer service is by far the best that I've ever encountered. They have the best prices. They have high stock of their inventory. They're just a great company. Rainbowmealworms.net.
I did not think people would prefer wanting to see me eat.
Telling you, this is not a.
No.
I'm looking at the question.
Oh.
Just kidding. There's Whitney.
Hey, stop.
This is a republic. Is that what a republic is, where you get to vote? Okay, where's the lid to the blender?
That blender is dirty.
Where's the lid to the blender? I cleaned it.
It's in the dishwasher.
Don't make me say it.
What?
I was gonna mansplain something, but I won't.
Don't you even dare.
There's too many women on the stream. I don't want to get misinterpreted. No, I love you guys. I'm always joking. If I ever say anything that's kind of like, did he really just say that? I'm just joking. I joke with Whitney all the time about, what do we do, honey? We joke all the time about men, women stuff.
Yeah, one time we took it really far and we were like really mad at each other.
That's because you would not agree to my point.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. Where did I get this right now? This was in the dishwasher. Just kidding, guys. I don't always have to be right. I am not a dominatrix. I'm not a dominator
Macho man.
person, yeah. But I will joke around. I will joke around.
Let's see. Hey, what's up?
Can you see me on there?
Rock and rolly. Yep. What's up, rock and rolly?
Rock and rolly. The camera looks like it's sideways. You can't see me on there. I'm over here now.
It can still see you.
Oh, are you sure it's not like, don't you need to be centered? Like, don't you need it even, aesthetically even?
I've got one hand in this bag of cookies and only the other hand free.
Just turn the pin.
They can see you.
Oh my gosh.
Trust me.
Trust. Okay, this is the most difficult part, guys. When you're pouring the oatmeal, it likes to spill or keep going, and so you just need to be careful. We get the oatmeal from, where do we get it from, hon? Winco. Get your oatmeal from Winco, you will pay much better pricing. So this is just the really, really big bag of old-fashioned oats. It's like 68 cents per pound or something at Winco, which is similar to Costco or Sam's Club. Well, actually, it's not similar to Costco or Sam's Club. Winco is, I don't know if you have Winco, but it's a bulk warehouse that you can only pay debit with. But you could debit and cash. But you could buy stuff like this in such bulk for like really, really good prices. If you go to the regular grocery store and buy oatmeal, it's going to be a lot more money than if you buy it from like a bulk place. So look at Effie, she's just right there. All right, can you see me?
Yes.
I don't believe you. All right, you'll want to put the lid on, otherwise the oatmeal. Actually, once the oatmeal is in there, okay. So lesson learned. Once the oatmeal is sitting in the blender, no lid is required. But if the blender is running and you dump the oatmeal in, it just shoots the oatmeal everywhere because there's no weight to push down into the blade. So that might seem like silly to some of you guys, but I learned it the other day. Uh-oh, the blade is not wanting to...
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, there you go. And then you'll take a fork and then kind of spin around the edges so that it blends the oatmeal fine, because all of the unblended oatmeal goes into the middle. Any questions?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah.
Don't even play that with me. So Jay Netherton is wondering if he can video chat with you tomorrow, so you can teach him some stuff he wants to know.
Yes. So tomorrow's, I should be free most of the day tomorrow. Like, if we plan a time to speak, so just kind of hit me up on Messenger and be like, hey, is this a good time for you? And then we can definitely do that.
Or we can shake our blender. We had to super glue the bottom piece together. Like we probably can't even afford a new blender. We're just really broke, so.
Why did we have to super glue?
I told you because I told them because it broke.
How did it break?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember,
It was like that when we started using it.
No, I pulled it out of the fridge one night and it broke. Don't you remember? Oh, no. It was the other day. Don't tighten these too much. You tighten it too much and it breaks. But yeah, we super glued it and it's okay. Yeah. And yeah, you can shake it, but we need to be careful because it is super glued.
Do we have Twitter?
We don't have Twitter.
No.
If you know how to use Twitter, I need to talk to you because I don't know how to use Twitter. We do have TikTok. And guys, we had our first video that is going viral right now on TikTok. So check us out on TikTok, GeekyGeckoCreations. It's a video of one of our tegus the other day eating a rat. And it's got like 80,000 views in like 2 days. And we gained like 300 followers on TikTok from like just the last 3 days. It's crazy. So follow us on TikTok. We make fun and entertaining content on TikTok. We show really good picture quality pictures on Instagram. And then on Facebook, we create longer informational type posts. Joe Mama?
She wants to learn where to learn special care for a pregnant Leo.
Try doing a YouTube search for any question you have. Or you could just ask us on a live stream or message me on Facebook, Instagram, GeekyGeckoCreations. Email me, GeekyGeckoCreations@gmail.com if you have a question. There's really no special care. You just treat them exactly the same as when they're not pregnant. Just make sure they have their calcium, make sure they have their supplements and vitamins, make sure you're changing their water on a regular basis, and try to leave them alone. And that's about it. On our YouTube channel, we have a video of how to check for ovulations. We also have a video of how to check if your eggs are fertile. We also have a video of how long is it going to take your eggs to hatch. And all of those kind of touch on some of the things to do with the female as well. But females really don't need anything special, just those few things that I mentioned. Food with calcium, with D3 and supplements, which is something you're giving to the geckos anyway. Water is something you're giving to the geckos anyway. Probably the only other thing that is different than normal leopard gecko handling is normal leopard gecko care is try not to handle them too much for the time that they're gravid, which is about 3 to 4 months, you know, as they're making babies every 2 weeks.
So Jaden says her mom wants to know how much for the
For the what?
how much for the orange gecko and the black baby gecko. How much for any black knights?
So we don't have any tangerines or black knights for sale right now. We do have some babies that are growing up, and if we do sell them, they'll be somewhere between $200 to $300 because of the quality that they are. Black knight babies, I think we're going to keep all the babies we have this year, but we're going to sell some black knights next year. But once we sell black knight babies, they'll be somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500 depending on quality. So tangerine babies, $200 to $300. Black knight babies, $1,000 to $1,500.
Oh man. Oh. Better treatment than humans get.
What?
So with Jaden's pregnant female, she gave her warm baths every night, and she gave her belly rubs. And then the legs were laid the next day.
That's actually nice. I don't give special treatment to like my pregnant females. I just leave them alone. But I can
time for all of them.
Right, because I have a breeder set up here, so it's hard to give very detailed care to every single gecko unless they really need it. If there's a gecko that really needs it, I'll be in there every day giving it care. Like the dumerils, boas babies, I got to check on those every day, make sure their umbilical cords are closing up, etc. But I really, really appreciate people who go the extra mile for their animals. I don't have extravagant setups. I have a breeder setup, but I love people who have extravagant, naturalistic leopard gecko setups. And I think that's really cool that you gave her a bath and you rubbed her belly. I think that's really cool. So yeah, that could be extra treatment for pregnant females as well. I would say you don't have to do that, but if it's in your heart to do so and you kind of want to do that, then you can,
Yeah, I could use a bath and a belly rub.
You're not pregnant.
No, I'm not. But I'm a female.
I'm a female. Maybe when you're pregnant. Give you some incentive.
When I'm bearing your child. Maybe.
Our reptile child. Okay, I'm one more thing of oatmeal and then we're gonna head to the gecko room.
I gotta start my mac and cheese.
I'm just gonna do cookies.
I did, but I can tell my body's like screaming at me.
Because you're anemic.
All I need to do is just set the water to boil for a few minutes.
Okay. So Whitney's going to be right back. She's just boiling some water so she can make some mac and cheese. I am just finishing off over here with the oatmeal. Let me see what I can see over here. Yeah, with the oatmeal. And then we're going to go to the gecko. We're going to go to leopard gecko room. We'll show you how we feed our dubia roaches and also how we breed our leopard geckos and check for ovulations.
Don't forget about the baby.
What baby?
The baby. The new baby.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, baby. So my phone is charged over here right now, but while Whitney, while Whitney is making her food, let me take you guys with me over here so I can see the questions. Yeah, I'm brand new to TikTok, but I'm really learning how to use it, and it's really fun. Twitter, I never caught on to Twitter.
They can hear you.
No, the mic's pointed the other way.
Oh.
They can hear you. Yeah, I never caught on to Twitter. I need to learn though, but. Yeah, breeding is so much fun, guys. I'm glad that you guys are experiencing it for the first time right now. Yeah, tag views are great, great, great. Yeah, definitely send me pictures and I will let you know. There you go. Yeah, show Joe how you do the belly rubs for the gecko. Yeah, try pairing them together again, Iguape. Sometimes, unfortunately, reabsorptions just happen. I'm sorry. It just unfortunately happens sometimes. Things that you're really, really looking forward to don't go as planned. Leopard geckos are a pretty low risk, minimal problem animal. But even that being said, sometimes bad things just happen. And bad eggs are laid. Bad breedings happen. Infertile eggs are laid, you know. So, but yeah, something you could do to try to fix that is breed her again with the male or breed her again with a different male. Maybe it's something about that male sperm that isn't good. But again, it's probably not the male sperm. Sometimes females just go through fluctuations of fertility and fertile and unfertile eggs. Frank, I mentioned on your last live stream about my Leo Dew eggs. She's still not had them. I did give her a bath today, see if that helps. Yeah, try the belly rub. I'm sorry, Kamikaze. Again, sometimes things just don't go according to plan. Try not to worry too much. I've had egg-bound girls here for anywhere between 3 to 6 months. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty heartbreaking. It's pretty scary when you're going through it. But try those warm baths. Try those belly rubs. Just give her everything she needs. Water, you know, drinking water. Don't pump it into her. I mean, just give her fresh water. But
All right.
yeah, that's awesome, Eric. Love reptiles, man. Everybody has the chance to do what we are doing over here. Are you ready to film again?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes. Turn it around.
Turn it around. We're on CNA Geckos question, I think.
Okay. I don't know. I'm very self-conscious on camera.
Show them your pretty green eyes.
No.
Who said you had pretty green eyes last time?
I don't remember, but thank you. That was a very nice compliment.
Somebody said it. Do you need to be here, or can you go with me to the room?
I can go with you.
Okay. Oh!
What?
Oatmeal is falling. Falling from the
I
sky.
just slept. I just cleaned the kitchen.
I know, but it's gonna get dirty anyway. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh, guys. This is what I live with.
This is what. I'm sorry. I could tell you're really going through it. Like, ooh.
Yeah, so CNA Gecko says, do you need to pay for a membership to sell leopard geckos on Morph Market?
No, you do not. If you have the unpaid version of Morph Market, they will allow you to post one photo of your animals and they will not give you a profile picture. If you have the paid version of Morph Market, they give you a profile picture, they bump your ads to like the top of the list when you search for somebody alphabetically, your business name gets punched to the top of the list with a picture, and you can post more than one picture at a time. I think it's like up to 5 pictures or something you could do.
Can you do me a quick favor? Can you grab that rag and just like clean up all the oatmeal stuff?
Yeah.
No, not the paper towel.
No, because I need to sweep it into the garbage. Because if it's on the rag, what happens when it dries?
You wash the rag in the sink.
What happens when it dries and it falls to the floor? You wash the rag in the sink?
No,
That's a lot of work.
But it's saving money. You know how much paper towels cost.
Yeah, I tried to look for some today at Waco.
Yeah. So anyway, what I do a lot of times is to save money. So to avoid using paper towels, I will have like an old sheet that is holding it and stuff, and I'll cut it up, and then I'll just use that as rags in the kitchen. But thank you for cleaning that.
I'm just eating a couple grapes real quick. It's re-energizing me for the rest of the night's tasks. Okay, also if you have a Winco, they have amazing chicken strips for really good prices. I didn't tell you this, hon, but
Actually, can I have one right
yeah,
now?
go ahead.
Is it cold?
Yeah.
Oh.
The lady gave me $1 off and 1.5 times the amount of chicken strips. She was being nice.
Oh, you guys are so sweet.
What?
They're giving me compliments.
They're weak?
Sweet.
Oh, I thought she said you guys were so weak. I was like, wow.
No. He's getting old. His hearing is going.
What? Okay, let's go to the room.
All right. Bye, Raising Zoe Rain.
See you, Raising Zoe.
Thank you for joining us.
Are you able to head with me to the room?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Hi, Effie.
Oh, she's so sweet.
See if you can get her to do meow.
Her meows are like the sweetest thing ever. She's over, like she's 20 months. But she still acts like a kitten, and her meow still sounds like a kitten. She's just like the cutest, sweetest thing ever. I am a crazy cat lady. Hi, baby. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. He's cute.
Oh, you brought the wire. Okay, cool. Okay, I'll be right there.
Can you check on my water to see if it's boiling?
Yeah. What happens when it's boiling?
Just tell me. All right, guys, we will get to your questions in a second.
All right, so what are we doing in here now? Is your face showing?
No. You're
Are they just staring into the nothingness abyss over there?
Yes.
Or can you see me?
You are visible.
All right, so we're going to go through every cockroach tub and just kind of see what they need. It's good to spray your cockroaches about 2 times a week for some extra moisture. They really appreciate humidity. And they will use that extra water content, especially for their babies. And so I usually give each one of these big buckets here about 3 carrots and 3 pieces of celery. About every 5 days or so, just when it runs out. I don't want to give too much, because if you give too much vegetables, the moisture content in there and stuff winds up kind of making the vegetables a little rotty. If they haven't eaten the vegetables, if they don't eat the vegetables within like 4 days, those vegetables get a little mushy and like fungusy. So I just give them enough just so that they can eat it within 4 days, and then bam, I give them a fresh new load of food. You love aiming at the ceiling, huh?
I'm not aiming at the ceiling. So, yes, sir, 2121 says, is blue heating light good for a leopard gecko?
So there's some argument over the old style red heating lights, whether geckos that are nocturnal can actually see the red light and whether it's bad for them. Blue light, I don't know too much about the blue light spectrum, but you do want to try to give your leopard geckos a day-night cycle. However, in the wild, they would have the light of the moon, right? So whether it's a blue light or whether it's a red light, even if there's a little bit of light in the enclosure, personally, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. And all of these recent studies about the red light spectrum, those came out recently. But leopard geckos have done fine in captivity for 30, 40 years with those little red lights. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Feel free to do a little bit more research. I'm not like too much an expert on that recommendation there, but just kind of thinking about it, I just don't think it's going to be a problem.
Oh, thank you, Jaden. Did you remember the new baby?
Oh, thank you. I'm going to check on that baby last tonight. Let's put it, I'm going to add that to the list. Appreciate that. So, added to the list is set up babies. So we'll check for all our babies and see how many babies we have that hatch tonight. Usually about every 2 days, we have about 1 to 2 babies hatching every 2 to 3 days or so around here.
Is the water boiling?
It probably is. Yeah, I'm good. You can go and then come back. But come back, though. Don't leave us forever. I'm such a, like, clingy type homey person. So, like, now that we're married, I can let my vulnerability shine to Whitney. And I don't mind her knowing that I'm kind of clingy. But I'm a lot less clingy now that I actually have reptiles to focus on. But I was bad when I was not focusing on reptiles. I lived an hour away from the university, and Whitney lived on the university campus. And so every day I really, really wanted to spend time with Whitney and hang out with her and see her. But sometimes she was just so busy that she didn't have the opportunity to do so. So I would wait there every single day until like 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, just to see if I would get a chance to see her for like an hour or something. And most of the time she's really, really good and makes time to see me, you know, and she really wanted to see me and spend time with me too. But sometimes when we weren't able to see each other, it would make me really sad. Sad and then mad. Sometimes we would fight about it. So she will be back here. I'm just going to keep this rocking and rolling so that I can get this portion of the evening done so we can move on to breeding. I'm sifting through all these roaches today too. It's my not today, I mean this week. It's my goal this week to sift through all these roaches, see how many babies we got, and potentially sell those babies as well. Or set them up for selling. So roach babies are pretty lucrative. If you get somewhere between like 5 to 10,000 babies a month, you can grow those babies up into mediums. They only take like, once you sift out the babies, they only take like another 3 weeks or so to grow up, 2 to 3 weeks to grow up into mediums in their own bin. Once you grow them up to mediums in their own bin, those roaches are now worth 15 to 20 cents per roach. So if you're getting 10,000 baby roaches a month at 15 cents, or 10,000 medium roaches a month at 15 cents per roach, now you're talking about $1,500 a month just from cockroaches. And pet stores will always take cockroaches. It's not like animals where sometimes pet stores want them, other times they don't. Pet stores will always take cockroaches. So here's how we set up our little baby roaches here. These babies were just freshly plucked from the bin the other day. And you can see how many there is just after 1 month. And there's more even under that. And this was a low bin for us. This was not a heavy load bin. When I looked in the bin, I could barely see any of those babies. But just looking at it right now, there's at least like 2,000 to 3,000 babies. And this is just from one bin. I still have 6 other bins to sift through. And all the other bins, for the most part, when I looked in there, I could see tons of roaches running around. This bin, I couldn't see any roaches running around. And you could see how many roaches that still turned out to be. So I'm really hopeful that the other bins are going to have a lot more babies. So.
Yeah. Roaches be...
Roach life.
Ugh.
Roaches be popping. Roaches are cool.
So, I'm just coming back here and looking at all the questions. Idris, we met at college. We both went to GCU.
How did we meet?
And
how did we meet?
So, as much as I do like give him flack and yell at him, I'm just a very sarcastic person, and that's just how I show love.
Don't you mean you give me slack?
No. Oh my god.
Tell him what happened last night.
So he was talking about
I just kept
like
using the word
a public
slack.
reptile figure that was getting a lot of flack from people because of
something, just a video, whatever.
Yeah, just video. And he kept saying slack. It's like all these people are giving him slack, commenting on his videos and hating on him and giving him slack. I'm like, don't you mean flack? He's like, no, it's slack. And I'm like, slack is the opposite of flat.
Slack is... I was like, I'll prove you wrong.
He always says that. He says, I'll prove you wrong. And then when I know that he's right, watch out.
Thanks, son, I know.
I resort to sarcasm.
So go ahead with the story of how we met.
Oh, yeah. So, I was a music major, right? Music education major. And he was in the pet band. And one day, my friend and I were practicing for a Christmas festival. And the festival was going to be in a downtown town of Arizona. And so we were practicing Christmas songs.
Glendale Glitters for anyone who's from Arizona.
Glendale Glitters. And he was in the next practice room practicing his baritone because he was in the pet band. And he knocks on the door, and you know, all the doors in the practice rooms had glass, you know, windows. And so I saw him, and then he comes in, and I look at him, I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus, who is this?
Who is it?
And he says, hey, I know the song you're playing. Mary, did you know I really like that song, and do you mind if I play the piano with you guys? I was like, what? He plays piano and he looks like that? And so then we practiced our songs, and it was really great, and I was like,
let me get your number, fool.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
And I said, well, you know, I've like never done this before, and it's just me and my friend, and do you want to like play piano with us while we sing for the actual gig? And then he was like, yeah, he was so excited. And I was like, well, since you're doing this gig, I'm gonna need your number to text you about rehearsals. And then that's how it started. And like actually the day of our gig was our first date. It just turned out to be that one because like we moved past the friends stage like really fast.
That was like 3 weeks later, huh? The gig was like 3 weeks after we met, I think. Maybe less,
well,
2 to
maybe
3 weeks.
like 2 weeks. So after we had performed, like we walked around, and it was a festival, so it had like food trucks and like caramel apples and street performers and all this stuff. And
tell them how you got ice cream on your face.
oh, hey, have a good night, Kamikaze.
See ya, Kamikaze.
So he was feeling very playful, and we were eating ice cream. We had ice cream cones, and then he dips his finger in the ice cream, and then he smears it on my face.
Not my finger. I just smeared the ice cream on your face, didn't I?
No, I remember it was your finger.
It was my finger?
Yeah.
I did that?
Oh, that's my food. But anyways, yeah, that's how we met. I will be back because I'm hungry.
Yeah, it was actually very romantic. I was really looking for the love of my life, and then it just kind of happened. Like, it's funny how when you're not trying is when it happened. And I met Whitney at a very critical point in my relationship-seeking life, where I had actually stopped looking for a relationship because all of my attempts to look for a relationship were not working. So when I went into the room to meet Whitney that day, it was seriously just to practice music. I didn't even know what she looked like until I opened the door and saw her. There might have been a glass pane on the window, but I didn't like look in there first to be like, oh yeah, she's cute, let me go. I just liked the sound of her voice, and I knew how to play the song. I was just practicing the song with my mom for Christmas, and I just wanted to play music with somebody. Like, a part of my heart just really wanted to play music with somebody. And then I walked in there and asked to play music with them. And I remember when I walked in there, though, I was like, there was something that really stuck out to me about her, like something different about her. And then just turns out that we wound up, being together shortly after that. So there was a 2-week period where we practiced together and arranged practices, and some of her friends didn't come to the practice. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but we got to become more friendly with each other. And then she came out to a pet band concert of mine, and then we did the gig together at Glendale Glitters at this show. And then after that, I asked her if she wanted to walk around the fair, and we did ice cream and food, and that became our first date. Really became our first date. And then our second date was a Bible study on campus, because we went to a Christian campus. I know lots of other campuses have Bible study, but we were at a Christian campus, so there's like Bible studies galore. So it was at a Bible study, and then our third date was at my parents' house, actually, which is, did we become like official at my parents' house? Yeah, we became like official at my parents' house. It was so cute. Didn't you say like, don't you want to go steady or something like that? Oh, yeah, I guess. I asked her if she wanted to be official. I forget how I exactly asked you, but what? At my parents' house? That was our third date already, though. Oh, yeah, I guess. So that was date number 3, and then after date number 3, we count that now as our month anniversary. So that was December 4th. So every December 4th until we got married, we celebrated our month anniversary, which was to commemorate the day that solidified us being together, you know? Oh, man, they really do you in. I'm going to have to blow my nose when Whitney comes back. So let's cross off the list. Roaches are done. Set up, babies. No. Food. Roaches are done, guys. Woohoo! I'm excited about that one. Tomorrow I have to sift roaches, count babies, change leopard gecko substrates. Okay, so we got these 3 things left for the night. Thank you guys for all the comments. I see them popping up. It really was, to me, like the fairy tale. I had tried so hard to meet somebody and failed every single time. And it's so funny because statistically, any one of those girls that I tried to date or tried to go out on a date on, statistically, one of them should have said yes, but none of them said yes. Nothing worked out with any girl that while I was going to school trying to, date and stuff. Nothing worked out with any of those girls. And I feel like in a way, Whitney was like our relationship was meant to be. You know what I mean? Like those other relationships, it didn't even start or didn't pan out to anything because I was being saved for something much greater than that, like much better than that. And so it really is like a dream come true thinking about it. And then that was before I was even into reptiles, not into reptiles, but I mean, before I had gotten back into reptiles, like I'm gung-ho in it now. So how long are you going to be, hon? I got to blow my nose. Huh? She's mixing the cheese. Okay, so here is our list of... And I watched so many Hallmark movies too. And I always wanted that Hallmark relationship. And I tried so hard to get it. But when I tried, it always failed. And then when I stopped trying and just kind of let things happen naturally, that's when it happened. So I don't know if there's a lesson there or if that's applicable or if anyone has a similar experience, but that's what happened with me. So non-pairs. These are all geckos that have not been paired yet in our collection. These are all geckos that have been paired but need to repair. So we're going to try some of these repairs tonight. And we're probably going to check for some new ovulations once Whitney comes back. So I'm just going to set the camera there for now. And I'm going to try for some of these repairs. So I have another computer over here where I can see, and maybe I can kind of show you guys what I'm looking at here. This computer is slow. That's why I don't use it anymore. But so here's my little list of females. These gray ones are already done. So like this girl per se, I'll click on that. Oh my gosh, this is the first time I'm using this computer tonight. Oh, sorry, this is, oh my gosh, I need to check for eggs too. That's the main thing, or that is a main thing. Check eggs. So normally the way I check for eggs, I highlight these ones in bold. These are the females that I need to check for eggs. And then once I find their eggs, I can kind of show you what I do. But let's try, since you guys are here for some leopard gecko breeding, let's try some repairing. We'll do repairs first. Okay. And so we're going to need to pair Afghan number 3. So I can look up her data or information. So Afghan number 3. Sorry guys, I know it's probably boring right now. It's a little difficult. I'm trying to use this computer for the first time and it's kind of being a little slow and difficult on me. Oh, sorry. Afghan 3 is a non-pair. Repairs are Turkmenicus 2. Okay. So we need to pair her with Eublepharis Turkmenicus male 1. Oh, that's interesting. Eublepharis Turkmenicus male 1. Are you almost done, hon? Yeah. So Whitney's almost done. She's going to come grab the camera. And this will go a lot more smoothly. Actually, I'm going to... Thanks. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate the patience. Whitney's going to come back right now, and then she can kind of film, and then I'll be able to do what I need to do because, as men, we're so hardwired to focus on, like, one thing at a time and then, like, put all of our efforts into that. Sometimes it's hard to multitask. But talking about the strengths of women, I think women are very good at multitasking. There was some kind of study that I saw on that recently where men want to, like, focus on one thing at a time and like get it done to the best of their ability, whereas women will like try to focus on like a lot of different things and multitask. But I know I had so many different names of geckos, and I still know some of the geckos by name, but I also had to give each gecko a specific ID code, just so that I could keep track of their genetics and everything like that, like moving forward in the future. So thank you, Eric. Really appreciate that, bro. You'll see once Whitney comes back, it'll be rocking and rolling because I got the momentum. I got the motion down. It's just hard to control the camera. Okay, hon. So I will leave this with you. You can eat. Where are you going to eat? Over there? Yeah, over here will be kind of more out the way. I'm going to put these carrots back real quick, and I'll be right back. So we're going to do repairs first.
Hello, friends.
Oh, you're on camera.
Yes, and I'm going to switch. Oh my god. I'm eating Kraft mac and cheese.
Would you say the Hallmark fairy tale ending came before or after the reptiles?
What do you mean ending? I would say our life is definitely not a Hallmark movie. But I mean that in a good way.
Yes, Whitney is the killer of love. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Jaden, you are so sweet.
What did she say?
She's giving me compliments.
Oh, that's nice.
So sweet.
So try to, when I talk about this, you could try to film what I'm doing. But I always keep an extra tub when I'm pairing up girls. And then I take their tub like this. Like this girl. Oh, she's due for a repair, but she's really skinny. So I'm actually not going to repair her. I want her to gain some weight before repairing. So we're going to move next on the list is Black Knight. So this is one of our Black Knight girls. She was recently paired with a male, but her first clutch, I think, was infertile. So I want to try to pair her again. And I can see her ovulations there. I want to try to pair her again so that we just make sure that we have enough sperm in her to make fertile eggs. So I will put all of her stuff into an empty tub, and then I will put the male into her tub. So watch how this goes. So, can you see in there? Or now her tub is completely empty. Those mealworms messed me up, guys. Be careful. Be careful dealing with mealworms. Cockroaches and stuff. Their smell and stuff can really cause allergic reactions and stuff. I'm going to put the male with the female. Let's see what happens. And I have 3 separate bins for 3 different breedings that I can do at once. I'm going to put a red clip on this bin and then a red clip on the bin where they're breeding so that I can visually go back and forth as I need to. Okay, so next female on the list is Afghan 1. So here we have Afghan 1. She was paired, but I don't think we're getting fertile eggs from her. So I want to make sure that she is repaired again. So I will put all of the contents in her tub into an empty tub. And then I will find out who her male was. So this is Afghan 1. Let me search our records here to see who we paired with her. Afghan 1. Oh, unfortunately, Afghan 1 was also paired with a Black Knight. And I only breed each gecko. I only breed 1 time a night. So we're going to have to pair her tomorrow when the Black Knight is free. Because the Black Knight's on a date right now.
Oh, that's sweet. The Jaden's female was so sad when she took the male away from her. She'd been with him since he was tiny.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes, surprisingly, some leopard geckos don't do well together. But all the babies that I keep together, they're always sleeping on top of each other and stuff. They're so, so cute. I've just seen some horror stories about like males and females living together. But again, those are outliers. They're not like the normal, you know what I mean? So in general, males and females, they're going to live perfectly fine together. There are going to be a few scenarios where maybe males or females beat up a little bit too much on the other one. But most of the time, I guess that's, perfect evidence of it right there. The geckos are going to be fine. So let's try Afghan 4.
No, you guys aren't nosy. That's why we're here. We're here to answer all your questions.
Tell you about our lives.
To see what this life is like.
Here's another Afghan. And yeah, I love being here with you guys. I love it. So take advantage of that to whatever degree you want. You know, you could ask us any questions, whether it's like personal questions like how we met or gecko questions. I think it's all really cool. And whenever I'm on a live stream, whenever I watch somebody's live stream, I'm always listening to learn a little bit about more of who that person is, what their background is, how they got into reptiles, in addition to the reptile info. So by all means, ask whatever questions you want. I'm definitely cool with that, and I think Whitney is too. Yeah, this girl has eggs. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that, hon?
Yes, I can.
The white eggs.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to repair her. She's on the repair list, but I'm not going to repair her until her eggs are laid.
So, let's see here.
Another black knight, and then
Mom Guape says, can she see? I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep assuming gender. Can they see exactly how the geckos pair?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get this.
So, Mguape, I have... oh my gosh. Those cockroaches have killed me, guys. You can hear it in my voice. The two that are pairing right now, they are not locking up together yet. As soon as they lock, if they lock, I will show it to you. In the meantime, let me pair some other geckos together and see which ones lock, and then we can show it to you. But also, if you want to see geckos locking for sure, I have 2 videos in my video history. Both of them are called breeding leopard geckos, and both of them show males and females breeding together. And multiple examples in each video. That's really, really good. I have those in my video history. If you need me to send you a link to them, just send me a private message and I can send you that link. Or you can look in the video history on YouTube and see it. But as soon as some of these guys start pairing tonight, I'll definitely show it to you.
Sorry guys, I'm starving, so I'm just snarfing down some mac and cheese real quick.
All right, so we got another female here. This is actually a smaller female on our list this year. I kind of wanted to see, you know, with the smaller girls, how does it affect their fertility or like their egg laying rates? Now, her ovulations are a little different. You could kind of see an egg forming in one of her ovulations where it's beginning to turn white. Were you able to see that, hon? Where it's beginning to turn white. That's kind of the beginning stages of an egg forming in my mind. But since her ovulations are still very red and she paired like weeks ago, I'm going to repair her because she's been absorbing her clutches and I want to see if we can get some good clutches from her. So I'm going to put her stuff in the container and then let's see what male she was with. We got to look in our records here. She is bold female number 4. There she is. And perfect. She's with a white and yellow male 1. So we will put him with her. So here's the process, guys. You take the male, you empty out the female's container, put the male with the female, and then lock them away. But don't throw away the key. So sometimes our Black Knight male is anxious to mate. Other times he is very relaxed and just wants to watch TV on the couch. So tonight might be a TV night for him. He's not really looking too built up to be breeding, but we'll see what happens. So, okay, we got 2 girls in there now. It is Black Knight and then Bold 4. So we got one more repair girl, and then we have a bunch of new ovulations to check. So Turkmenicus 6. So same thing. I'm going to empty out her stuff. Let's see what male she was with. Turkmenicus 6. She was with Frosty Turk male 3. Okay, so
are you able to answer a question right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jaden says, is it normal for the eggs to be staggered in the female?
Yes. That is very normal, Jaden. It's exactly normal. It's exactly the way it's supposed to be. The eggs are normally staggered a little bit. So if you could look at this, hon. So this is a horrible picture of a leopard gecko's body.
It looks like a ghost.
It does look like a ghost. But here's the leopard gecko's tail down here. Tail, okay, tail. One egg will be staggered like in the lower section of the stomach, and the other egg will be staggered on the upper section a little bit. That's perfectly normal. So if you know anything about our Frosty Turk project, here's our Turkmenicus Lemon Frost male. This one is showing no signs of skin tumors or anything like that. So we are test breeding him and continuing on this Turkmenicus Frosty Turk project. So he's due to go with this Turkmenicus female here. He's a Gen 3 edition. So any babies from these two will be Generation 4, and they will be 95% Turkmenicus and only 5% of the macularis genetics. So let's see what happens. She actually looked like she had an egg in her. I usually don't pair up girls that have eggs in them, but it was a little unconclusive if it was an egg or not. And she hasn't laid in a while. She's been reabsorbing her clutches. So whenever weird stuff happens like reabsorptions or infertile eggs, I usually attempt a repair. And it's just an attempt. I put the male with her. If she receives the male, great. If she starts fighting off the male, like for longer than a minute, I'll remove him and that's it. And again, color coding. So she's going to get a blue clip so I know where her stuff is. And her stuff's going to get a blue clip over here. And green clip, green clip. And it looks like our white and yellow male Zeus, he is also being a little bit of a couch potato tonight. But let's see how our lemon frost male does if he wants to be vigorous to breed. Sometimes the males look for signs from the females. They look for cues. They look for scents. I can hear them a little bit right now. All right. Let me show you activity from a female that probably does not want to breed, which is understandable because, like I said, she has an egg in her. So hope you guys don't think this is cruel, but I mean, I just separate them right away. But watch her behavior towards him. She's going to be pretty standoffish towards his advancements. They kind of got distracted a little bit when I came over here, but she was waving her tail at him. She was kind of trying to run away. That is a sign that she most likely does not want to breed. I usually only separate them once the female is like sort of attacking the male, because sometimes the female just wants to put up a fight and she wants to see if the male will subdue her and dominate her into breeding. And then she will let him breed after, you know, like 30 seconds to a minute. But if she's like really fighting him off, anything longer than 60 seconds, I definitely remove those geckos and try again on a different day. See her tail whack? She hit him in the face with the tail. He's trying to nibble on her. He's trying to talk sweet nothings into her ear like, hey, sweetie, let's go see a movie. She's like, no, I don't want to see a movie. And just whacking him with her tail. So we're actually going to remove this male, and that'll be it.
No, I don't want to see a movie.
I want to see King Kong vs. Godzilla. Her clip is color-coded to her stuff since we have 3 bins over here. So I know exactly what stuff is hers. She goes back into her cubby, and then I cross her off the list, and I mark what happened. So I will say for this one, I'm going to go all the way down here. And I will say that I attempted to repair on 411. And I will say female rejected male. And then I will cross her. She was Turkmenicus 6. I'll cross her off our repair list so that I know I don't have to worry about her for this week. Now let's check on the other 2. These guys are not breeding. Either Zeus doesn't want to breed, or she's just not giving him the signs to breed. She has a green clip, so we're going to get her stuff back. She is bold female number 4. So I'll ask my lovely assistant to take her name off the list.
Night, Janelle.
Good
Thanks
night.
for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, guys. I love being able to just hang with you guys, and I think that's awesome. Hope you have sweet gecko dreams. Okay, so bold 4, we are going to list the same thing. We repaired her. Right here. Now, I might try to pair her with a different male. That might actually work. Let's try that real quick.
Yes, Chris. Erala. So exciting breeding season. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I'm not being sarcastic. A lot of times I sound sarcastic just because I'm just too tired to put the energy into my voice. But I'm not this time.
Come on, buddy. All right, so we're going to take Zeus's son right here, which is a beautiful white and yellow gecko that we love, and try to pair him with this girl. Now, he usually is a pretty vigorous breeder, so let's see what happens. And if we get some breeding activity, I'll definitely show you. So, let me mark down what's happened so far.
Have a good night, Chris.
Later, man. Oh, you can hear the tail rattling right now. Thank you for coming. So 411. So we're putting in Zeus's son.
says long nights with Frank.
Yeah, I'm actually like getting kind of tired now, I can imagine.
Yeah.
But you guys too. But we're gonna try to do a little bit more here. Maybe another 15-20 minutes or so. Finish this up. Then I might take a small break, sit down. Even though my eyes are tired, I have an addiction to watching TV late at night. So I'll probably watch a show and then like try to finish up some more stuff around here or bump it to the morning. But I usually like to check for eggs at least once a day because I want to catch those eggs as soon as they're laid. And so that's one of the main things tonight that I'd like to try to get done. But I am feeling a little bit run down and might just need to rest it up.
I don't even know if I can watch a show. Gotta take a shower, go to bed.
We got some breeding activity going on here. So males will nibble and bite at the female. They're on camera, so they kind of stopped. What was that?
Firework.
So let's see if we could catch this whole thing until they're done. And then maybe that will be it for our stream tonight. There you go. The male will bite the female's neck. The female will oftentimes kind of move around, get into position to where she could lift her tail and he can slide his tail under hers. They just didn't want to be looking at us face to face. There you go. She's lifting. Go ahead, lift your tail. Lift your tail. She's trying to lift. He's like sitting on it a little bit. She's not doing the best job lifting. A lot of times the female will like really lift it up. There she goes. Tail is lifted. Male and female are now copulating. But not yet, actually. They're still moving around. What you want to look for is a standoff. You want them to be standing still, like not moving at all.
Maybe lower your voice a little bit more.
Yeah, there we go. We got a lock now. Yeah, sometimes the voice can be lowered. That's what you're looking for. When they're still like that, that is what you consider success. He will oftentimes just pump a couple extra times. They will separate. Oh, maybe he never got her. So she realizes that and she is lifting for him to go back. Once she feels like his sperm has reached her, she will oftentimes run away or fight him off and not let him engage with her anymore after that. So there she goes. She's fighting him off now. See that? So she feels like it's been successful. That's the sign that you look for. Once the female sort of pulls away, that's sort of, how you know that it was successful. Because oftentimes, even if a male is successful, he'll continue to go after the female, like time after time after time. But if the female rejects him, that's how you know that it was successful for the most part. The males will then lick their private parts. I usually let them lick their private parts for about 5 minutes and then put them back. All right, so I think that's it, hon. I think we'll end it there. What do you think?
Yeah.
Whew, man, that was a long one, huh? 2 hours and almost 40 minutes. But I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I think we're just going to end it there for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I can see Whitney's eyes are droopy, mine are a little bit, but we love you guys. We really, really appreciate your support. We love doing this, talking to you guys, bringing up content. So feel free to chime in anytime, ask any questions, whether it's personal about Whitney and directed to Whitney and I, or whether it's about the business or about animals. So we love you guys. We're going to say our little line on the way out, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, until we see you next time, Have a geeky gecko great day. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you in the next live stream. Sweet dreams, or have a good day if you're just waking up.